Good afternoon and welcome to the final match of the Cincinnati Gaynor Cup here at the Cincinnati Country Club. We have had 22 matches so far. We're down to our final two. We've had players in from Wales, we've had them in from Malaysia, Hong Kong, England, and several from Egypt, and one from France. So we're now down to one Malaysian and one American. We have the world number 9 against the world number 10. They played a couple of weeks ago, and it was a 5-gamer, so we could be in for a really exciting final here. Last night, Siva Singari, she took out the number 1 seed, Olivia 3-1, and Amanda beat Jasmine Hutton in a very close 3-1. So both in form, and this could be a good one. So please welcome on the court, from Malaysia, the world number 10, first time in the final here, Siva Singari Subramaniam. And her opponent from America, world number 9, our 2020 champion. Please welcome back Amanda Sobey. Just a quick reminder, if they want to keep their cell phones to silent so they can stop the players being playing. They do have to a lot of work between the
Well, welcome to the Cincinnati Gaynor Cup 2025. We're down to the final here in America, and these two players very deserved their place in this year's final. Relatively unscathed until the semi-final lineup last night, and it's a repeat of round 1 Tournament of Champions just a couple of weeks ago. I'm Lisa Aitken, and joining me for this final is Chris Gordon. Good afternoon, Chris.
Good afternoon, Lisa.
Well, we're in for a treat, and even more of a treat because you were actually commentating these two players at the Tournament of Champions just a couple of weeks ago with Aisling Blake.
No, absolutely. I mean, these two, Sivi Sangari Subramaniam of Malaysia and Amanda Sobey of the USA, produced an absolutely stunning matchup in Grand Central in New York, going the full distance, 5 games, with Sobey just sneaking it 11-9 in the 5th. But it's a different scenario here. It's a final, and it's also on a traditional court, so a real fascinating affair here today.
Well, Amanda Sobey, currently the lower ranked seed due to working her way back up the rankings after that Achilles tendon rupture. Managed to use her protected ranking very cleverly, and also has, you have to say, deserved her position at her current world ranking of 17 in such a short space of time. I can't imagine it's too long before she's back inside that top 10 and pushing the players at that highest world ranking at number 3. Siva Sangari Subramaniam, currently ranked 10, has been as high as 9 and will go to her highest world ranking of 8 after this tournament tomorrow, in tomorrow's rankings. 26 years of age, 14 finals, 14 titles from 19 finals. Had a fantastic win against the world number 4 last night. Olivia Weaver really just did enough with her deceptive style of play to break up the rhythm of Weaver and left her a little bit bamboozled in the end. She looked a little bit flat, but she didn't have too many answers for Siva Sangari Subramaniam. This is her first silver final, but has been the winner of a gold level title before at the London Classic, where she had the tournament of her life, taken down Hani El Hamami and Noor El Shubini in the same event to lift that title. So she's capable of beating the best in the world, but it's all about consistency for the Malaysian. Amanda Sobey came up against fellow kinetic training partner Jasmine Hutton in the semi-final last night, who's playing her best squash at the minute, thanks to her work that she's doing here in Florida with Wael Al Hindi. 44 minutes, 3-1. Made life very difficult for Amanda Sobey's movement. used her speed to get onto the ball, play fast, and not give Amanda Sobey any time, but just some errors at the business end and the experience from Sobey managing to prevail. So as we said, these two did meet at the Tournament of Champions just a couple of weeks ago. A tough draw for them both. Subramaniam going out in the first round of a platinum event, given she's inside the top 10, is rough. And then Amanda Sobey coming up against Nuron Gohar, the current world champion, in round 2. So this is the first event for them off the back of the first platinum event of the year. And as you said, Chris, a very different scenario we find ourselves in here with these two, with it being the final, but more so with it being this traditional type of court rather than a glass court. Who do you think that's going to favour the most?
Well, I think in this scenario on the traditional court, it more than likely favors Subramaniam. She's generally trying to get the pace of the play up, make things happen fast, and in general, these traditional plaster courts tend to be a little bit quicker, not quite as dead as the glass courts, which certainly favor the accuracy into the front corners of Amanda Sobey. I must say, I do think Subramaniam will be full of confidence after that fantastic performance yesterday against Olivia Weaver.
Well, after the second attempt, Amanda Sobey gets this final underway. She is obviously very eager to get back in time for the Super Bowl that's happening tonight. She'll be supporting the Birds.
Well, very good start from Subramaniam. Very quick rallies, not much in the sense of rhythm. Certainly not the start I would have put my money on happening.
Well, it's a dream start really for the Malaysian. As you said, Chris, will be full of confidence after that big win over world number 4 last night.
Well, on that first point on the board for Sobey, I think it's an important one. Those early points had gone quite quickly in the favor of Subramaniam. Always is a little bit different, though, a final, Lisa. There can be a few more nerves. Just there isn't always quite as much rhythm as you find in the early rounds of tournaments. It's a bit of a different beast, a final, really.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I can't comment too much myself on how it feels to be in finals, Chris, but you can see it with the players. It does bring that different type of tension mentally and physically. And I can imagine it's always just that bit more edgy for the higher ranked player as well. Maybe at this stage of the event thinking, with a difference in ranking, I should win this on paper.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one, that ranking difference, because I think this is one of those few matches where it possibly doesn't apply, where the higher ranked player is a little bit under pressure, because obviously Amanda Sobey still coming back from those that Achilles tear. She's done a fantastic job getting back to 17 in the world, but people still think of her as one of the top players in the world. So even at world number 10, Subramanian possibly doesn't have quite the same pressure as she would playing other players that are ranked below her.
For all.
Amanda Sobey cannot afford to have a deep tee position. I'm sure she'll have watched some of the match back with Subramaniam and Weaver last night, and she couldn't miss really, Chris. The straight kills, the boasting, the making it very awkward for the movement of Weaver into the front two corners. Couple that with a deception in the hold. It's imperative that Sobey stays high up the court, tries to cut the volley off, keep that tee position.
Go round, go to the front, the ball's shorter.
Well, she'll be disappointed with that decision, Sobey. Just feeling like there wasn't a clear access to the ball there, and an important point for Subramanian because it allows her to maintain that 2-point cushion. Yeah, this is a great spell from Subramaniam. She's getting into those front corners really quickly, and it's making things uncomfortable for the movement of Sobey.
I felt the error count in the Tournament of Champions was far too high for Subramaniam, and to be honest, given the scoreline, when it was 2-9 in the fifth, you're thinking if those balls had gone up and she had managed to just even keep 5 or 6 of them out of the tin, the match would have been hers. I do really feel like she let Sobey off the hook there, so I can imagine she's really looking for revenge here. Something we often talk about with Subramaniam. She can be, up there with one of the best players in the world, but plays with such a fine margin that the error count can be quite significant at times.
She's doing a fantastic job here, Subramaniam, of spreading the court wide. The attacks across the face of the front wall, absolutely sublime. Sobey just not quite finding the solution to turning quickly off the tee.
Yeah, that's the area of the court. It sounds simple, but Amanda Sobey has to look for opportunities, patterns in which she can set up positions to give her that mid-court with time to use her hold and deception. We said it so often yesterday in the semi-final, Chris. It all starts with that length quality. When Amanda Sobey's ball gets that die-in length and the really nice weight of shot into the back, the options that then present to her in the mid-court with her skill set are in abundance.
Well, it's just too many balls in the front corners for Subramaniam to be able to rush onto. Speed off the tee from Subramaniam has been quite rapid here in the early stages.
Looking a little bit sluggish here, Sobey. Subramaniam that has 3 game balls to take the opening game in this final. There you go. Just one required. Bright start for the Malaysian. No signs of fatigue and residue from last night's semi-final against Olivia Weaver. Just 9 minutes. Sivisangari Subramaniam, the number 3 seed, takes the opening game against Amanda Sobey 11-7.
Resuming 60 seconds. Play resuming 30 seconds. Subramaniam leads 1 game to love. Wobble.
So Subramaniam serving to start the second game after a fantastic opening first game. Work to do for Amanda Sobey. Needs to bring a bit of energy, I feel, to the body language for a start. Try and somehow get the systems going if she's feeling a little bit flat, which I think is what we're thinking, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that first rally and this second one from Amanda Sobey have looked much better. You can see the body language perking up around the middle of the court, really hunting that volley on her favored forehand side, which is the left side wall. Just needs to make sure she keeps Sivisangari Subramaniam a bit further behind her on the tee, not allowing the Malaysian into the front corners as early in the rally.
Yeah, that's nice from Sobey, making the court big. Oh dear. Thankfully just a little trip over the feet of Subramaniam. I was unfortunately commentating the match, Chris, where Sobey went down with the Achilles rupture, so that just gave me a little bit of PTSD there.
Yeah, that would not have been a pleasant experience being involved in that unfortunate encounter.
Yeah, the movement and the energy from Sobey is so much different here. Her first step has a bit of a bite to it now. She's really trying to force that speed onto the ball, off the tee, off the ball. And it's working wonders for her here in the second game.
Yeah, there's much better energy in the movement of Amanda Sobey. She's been patient there and just waited for the ball around the middle from Subramaniam to attack.
From the left.
It's now Subramaniam that's just looking a little bit flat herself. She's a bit shocked, to be honest, at the response here from Sobi.
7-1.
Yeah, it's been a fabulous response from the American. Just the hitting so much more effective. There's a lot more head speed. Oh yeah, that's aggressive on the volley. Taking it early across the tee line.
And now 2-8.
Yeah, that was a fantastic setup from Subramaniam. The angle that we have here, you just see how open the racket face was, so she could cut that ball, making it stay short up the court. Needs to keep the ball away from the volley of Subramaniam.
Oh, she slipped again in that area, Sobi.
Just saying, for someone so small, you've got such big feet.
Yeah, is there anybody that can wipe the court, please? Do we have any court service?
Thankfully, looks to be okay here. Slowly, two platters into the front left.
Maybe not. Can you do it with your feet or with the towel? I'm sorry.
So deadly on the volley when she's in front, Subramaniam. You just sense the trouble that Sobi creates when she gives Subramaniam those positions.
No, I can't see much going there. You're fine. Yeah. No, it looks okay from here. 5-8.
Sobi just saying there's a bit of blood on the knuckles, but not enough to come off for a blood injury. Just letting Andrea Santamaria aware that there is some blood coming through.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Sobi would potentially want a blood injury here because she's been in such good rhythm. She's actually, I would have thought she'd want to keep things flowing around because her accuracy and her movement's been really good here.
And out, 9-5.
Well, massive response there from Sobi after winning that point, shouting push. To me, Chris, I don't know about you, but when you feel that you have to bring that energy out yourself verbally, is a true sense that you're not physically feeling fired up and as electric as you'd like to be. You're trying to force it.
Well, she's just barely clipped the wrong angle there, Sobi. And I tell you what, if she is forcing it, as you say, Lisa, she's doing a fantastic job of it because the movement in this second game has been pretty sharp going forward. It's a big error there from Subramaniam.
Yeah, just not quite in a good position there. And it's given Amanda Sobi 4 game balls to equalise on the scoreboard. So a big response. And it was needed. A couple of falls there into the front left from Sobi. Grazed the knuckles ever so slightly. More energy, more aggression. and a lot more purpose in the hitting and the moving from Amanda Sobey. 8-minute second game, just under 20 minutes of play so far in this final, and the score is tied at 1-0.
Play resume in 60 seconds. Play resume in 30 seconds. One game all, so need to serve. Level.
So Amanda Sobey kick-starting this third game. And I feel like, Chris, finally the American has arrived at the party.
No, absolutely. After dropping that first game, she came out at the start of the second with a real sense of urgency. And usually once someone of Sobey's caliber gets going, she really gets going. I mean, that lunge into the front corner to counter that drop was inch perfect. I mean, she's still looking down at the knuckles. She's not happy with the bit of blood that's there.
Just with the momentum, she'll just want to make sure that that blood doesn't flow. The last thing she wants is, now that she's got the engines going, the body's moving a lot more freely, she'll not want to stop. And that's a big miss into the front left, not necessarily the wrong shot selection. Both players playing at their best, Chris, and Amanda Sobey moving a lot better. I do feel it's a question of, can Subramaniam keep the ball out of the tin and keep the error count low? And I think if she does that, then this could go the distance.
Yeah, it's much better work rate here from Sobey. We just see how much quicker the hitting is. It's causing problems for Subramaniam, not giving her the same amount of time to settle on the tee.
That was a poor service by Sobey standards.
3-2.
Has done a good job, Sobey, of avoiding rallies like that in this recent spells where she's trapped behind Subramaniam, ball just dropping in the service box areas.
It's a better spell here from Subramaniam. She's recognized that Sobey is moving a bit more dynamically up the court, and she's responded by pushing up the court, just trying to find a way to take that ball ever so slightly earlier, take time away from the American.
Oh, that's a fantastic finish on the forehand from Sobey.
3-4. 5-3.
Haven't really seen Subramaniam lose a point when she's managed to get in front of Sobi. Something she did so well against Weaver yesterday. She took her chances to attack. And the shot selection, the decisions that she was making, chopping it around the court with a low kill, straight and cross.
Yeah, there's no cross court now.
It wasn't actually a bad idea there from Subramaniam to try and straighten that ball. She just didn't quite get the line flowing along the side wall to the extent she needed. Very calmly gathered, though, by Sobi. She's been good around the middle of the court here.
Both of them have been, Chris. It's literally a battle for whoever can get that position first is going to win the rally. They both have that ability to expose the movement of one another when the first opportunity presents in the mid-court.
Too close. If she hits that on the follow through, she would hit you too close. And there, 6-all.
Well, it really is on a knife edge here, Lisa. Just neither of these two quite able to grab the game by the scruff of its neck.
1-all, 6-all.
Yeah, you see the fist pump there from Sobi, though. She's recognizing that's a big point. Monster drive into the back corner, really squeezing Subramaniam.
It's exactly what we're talking about, isn't it, Chris? The big points, the big moments, the opportunities. Subramaniam just unable to keep the ball above the tin there. I don't know about you, but it looks really fast the ball coming off the front wall.
No, it looks massively quick off the front wall, and I think Sobi has adjusted the tactics to that quickness off the front wall exceedingly well. Well, a bit of a guess there from Sobi, but still with 2 points to spare.
Yeah,
shot up
that's
the middle
very
there.
accurate.
It was well read by Sobi, that variety up the middle from Subramaniam.
(10-7) game ball, Sobi. And just one required. Fantastic business end for the American. Relatively quick games here, Chris. Just an 8-minute third game. 29 minutes in total. Amanda Sobi, the number 2 seed, is a 2-game-to-1 advantage here over Subramaniam.
60 seconds. Play resume in 30 seconds. Sobi leads 2 games to 1. Sobi to serve. Love all.
So Amanda Sobi in pole position here.
Yes, let. Love all.
Big turnaround after being quite flat and subdued almost. The engines weren't firing in the first game. Subramaniam couldn't miss, but it's been a big response.
Yeah, I think there are going to be some frantic rallies to start this 4th game from Subramaniam. She's going to need to try and find a way to inject some pace in here. Make things happen ever so slightly quicker. Sobi was starting to look very comfortable on that T-zone. Yeah, it's a good finish there from Subramaniam. Power driving the ball into the back corner.
Stop.
Andrea, that was even like close to being double.
I saw it through in the corner. Tight bounce and then again.
That's really not correct.
That's how I saw it from here.
Oh, that is
3 love.
What do you think about that, Chris? I think she actually got it back. It looked like the ball was going to die off into the back, and then the second attempt, I thought she got the ball to the front wall, no problem.
No, I have a feeling, especially by her reaction, that it probably was good. It was one of those where the movement looked a little bit awkward, but she probably managed to get her racket underneath it.
And out 4-1.
The points are rattling off thick and fast. Bit of fortune there for Amanda Sobi, just catching the nick at the back wall.
And out 5-2.
A little bit speculative there from Sobi, just forcing the issue, taking it into that front corner ever so slightly too early in the rally.
That was the right shot selection there from Sobi.
6-2.
I really enjoy the way she sets up that option on the forehand side. Strong position in the mid-court, short backswing, punches a few deep, knowing that Subramaniam then has to cover front and back. This is a great lead for the Malaysians, 6-2. If it continues like this, we're certainly going to 5. Yeah, it's great volley in from Sobi. Good hustling. Just forcing Subramaniam to hit something a bit extra. It seems to me that the more Sobi is able to volley, keep the pace quick, take the ball early like that, that's a fantastic finish. She just entices Subramaniam to do something a bit extra, and the errors can come in that way. The patience levels need to be a bit more extensive from the Malaysian.
Well, she's surging back here, Sobi. There was a period in there where Subramaniam looked like she was in total control, but Sobi's really found a way here to lock down that central area of the court and start really delivering big pressure onto the Malaysian.
No, she just played her shot. You were too close there.
Yeah, it's clever.
Either side, but not through.
Yeah, it's a clever shutout there from Sobi. Just getting the ball into that side wall very quickly. So massive momentum swing, Lisa.
Yeah, she's managed to turn this around absolutely brilliantly.
Stroke to Subramaniam.
Oh dear, just waited long enough for Sobi to come right into the racket path, giving Subramaniam a much needed point. It's that short backswing on the forehand. Subramaniam find it difficult to read.
7-6.
I think that's actually why it was given a let, Chris, because it just looked a little bit like Subramaniam was looking for Amanda Sobi a bit too much.
Well, it's getting into a very edgy section of the game. Subramaniam is battling to stay alive.
Yes, let's.
Obviously, Sobi's trying to close things down to get the title. Edgy decision, that one. This is inch perfect from Sobi in that front corner.
Yeah, she's really found the range with the forehand drop. Oh, what a kill from Subramaniam. Lovely hold. Felt like a week passed by before that straight drive came through.
Yeah, you get the feeling here, Lisa, that Subramaniam is reaping the benefits of just how physical the rallies have been. She's managed to get Sobi on the receiving end of some quite brutal exchanges.
That's a lovely backhand drop finish from Sobi. Yeah, she's really sussed out that cross flick from Subramaniam. Hasn't really been fooled at all. So 3 game balls for Subramaniam to take this into a decider. There it goes. 39 minutes, still a very short 5-set match. The Cincinnati Gaynor Cup final. We're tied at 2-all, heading into a 5th and final game. Who is going to take the title?
Play will resume in 60 seconds. Play will resume in 30 seconds.
Well, Chris, who's your money on?
I think this one's actually a very tough one to call, Lisa. I think a lot of it comes down to how these initial rallies get going. Obviously, Subramaniam looked very good there at the end of the 4th game, but if Sobey finds a way to get a good start here and attack those front corners well, certainly could be the American.
Just traffic.
Well, you see Sobey just trying to really activate the movement to start things off here. You can see a bit more urgency from her getting out of those back corners, getting up into that T-zone.
Yeah, she's forcing it a little bit, but she has to. After that first game, she really had to inject those feet into gear to get herself up the court, hunt down that volley, be more proactive and aggressive.
Yes, let's. Yeah, she stood on your foot and she would have got that ball, in my opinion. Just a let's.
It's an interesting one, isn't it, Chris? We see that sometimes on the glass court and we get to watch the replay, and sometimes it even goes to the video referee and be given a no-let, standing on someone's foot. It's sometimes deemed as you've created your own interference. Therefore, your right to a let ball is non-existent.
Absolutely, and it's a little bit of a different beast. The major platinum events that have video review to these events that take place on traditional courts. In these scenarios where there's no video review, you just have to sort of carry on and accept it. You can't get too sidetracked with what exactly happened. Good angle there from Subramaniam, though, really spreading the court, making Sobey do a very long line.
Two all, Chris. Absolutely nothing in it.
Now 3-2.
Big error there from Subramaniam.
Well, I'm obviously completely neutral doing this commentary on this match, Chris, but I am actually bizarrely commentating from the apartment of Amanda Sobey in Florida, so this could be a very happy household tonight or a very sad one.
Adele, 4-3.
Well, certainly an unusual scenario there for you, Lisa. Certainly you will know exactly what she's talking about later on when she references any part of the match. She's making a push here, Sobey. Trying to be more aggressive on the volley.
She's being aggressive all round. The movement onto the ball is sharp. The hitting is sharp. She's trying to take the ball early, inject a lot of pace, take the time away from the Malaysian. It's the exact type of rally that she needs to keep trying to promote. That's a tough post. And follow-up shot there from Subramaniam. Too good. Width was perfect.
Yeah, I really feel here for Subramaniam, the key is staying out of the 10. Needs to really limit the errors. Energy levels looking good though for Subramaniam. That is a massive decision, just giving Subramaniam that all-important 2-point cushion.
Oh dear, big miss
7-4.
for Amanda Sobey. 3 points clear in this final game for the Malaysian. Yeah, that's a beautiful length. Really utilised the space in the court superbly, Subramaniam.
Right side.
Well, she has a good mix at the moment, Subramaniam, between the aggressive length hitting, but also forcing Sobey into the front corners. Absolutely vicious on the volley there.
Yeah, took the words right out my mouth, Chris. Yeah, that is very aggressive hitting. Subramaniam has almost matched that intensity in the hitting, the earliness and the attacks into the front like Sobey was trying to promote. 6 championship balls for her first silver event title. Oh wow, that is severe. That last little spell, Chris, absolutely sublime from the Malaysian. To be honest, it looked like right up until the last 3-4 minutes that Amanda Sobey was going to be able to take this title, somehow find a way with the experience. 49 minutes, a very, very short 5-set match between 2 top 10 players.
If I can have everyone just stay in your seats, we're going to do the presentations pretty much straight away. We're just going to do a quick setup here. So our first final here in, I think it was 2017 or so around there, was a 3-2 that went all the way to the wire, but Kenzie Alderferrari won. Since then, I think every final's been a 3-love, so I think we'll be due for an exciting big one there. And that was, I kind of built it as the final that should never have been, really, because we had two players that have had career-ending, potentially career-ending injuries that have both made their way to the final. So that's so exciting to see them both playing to that level and back on the court and providing us a great final. So let's just hear a big hand again for the two players while they're changing. So I've got a few thank yous before I bring Veer on to help do the presentations. But first I'd like to thank our staff here at the club. We've had the players have loved being here all week, and they've had from the food service, and then Austin, who's been here all week as bartender. Austin's been amazing, so thank you, Austin, for your help. And then I've had two great staff on my team here that this week that's made this event so much easier. It's run flawlessly. So John and Sarah, please give them a hand. I've had people ask me about who the refs are. Now, being at a tour level, we have to bring refs in as part of the tour, that professional refs that travel around the world. So thank you for Andrea, who did the final there from England. And Daniel.
Well, that concludes the Cincinnati Gaynor Cup 2025. Siva Sangari Subramaniam playing a fantastic tournament, taking down Olivia Weaver, the number 4 in the world, last night in the semi-final, and then Amanda Sobey, the number 2 seed, today in the final 3 games to 2. We're going to sign off here, but you can join us again next week when the Pittsburgh Open starts on the 12th of February, live right here on SquashTV.
All right, been a long week. So now I'm going to bring Veer on. The sponsors, obviously, all of you sitting in the seats. I mean, we can't do this without you. And Veer obviously has been a huge, huge supporter of this event for several years now. So please, let's bring Veer on.
Thank you. A couple of days ago, actually I think it was Friday, Jasmine said this is her favorite tournament, which is quite extraordinary because it's only at silver. There are a couple reasons for that. Number one, to my left, without whom it would not be possible, Nathan. And while you're at it, we should give a little round of applause to Joe, the manager, whose beverages and food, that is whatever Jack Wyatt didn't eat, has really been very good. The second reason this tournament is such a success is because of all of you. You open up your homes and your hearts. And I think you turn Cincinnati into a little oasis for these players, and they love it. Now a little bit of untoward news. Inflation has struck the PSA. And next year, the prize money goes up a little bit. But fear not, because with your help, my family and I are committed to making this the best silver in the world. That's it. See you next year.
All right, so let's bring back the players. So first, our 2020 finalist and this year's runner-up, Amanda Sobey. So Amanda, obviously it's great to see you back in the final. I know it didn't go quite the way you wanted, but anything you want to.
Let me put this down. I think I embody the definition of blood, sweat, and tears right now. Because this whole match, my shirt is now ruined. It's covered in blood and obviously sweating, and then I just bawled my eyes out right before coming back out here, so apologies. But, you know, it's great to be back here in a final, and it was an incredible match, honestly. It sucks to lose, but all credit to Siva. It's great to see her back playing really well. And last time I won 11-9 and 5th a couple of weeks ago at Tournament of Champions, and today she beat me in 5, and so I look forward to the next time we get to play, because I'm sure it's a battle. But I do want to say thank you, Nathan, for putting on this tournament. Thank you to the Gaynors for sponsoring this event, and just keep making this event something like one of the best on tour that we all come back to and look forward to. You know, it just goes to show that we don't really need a glass court to have an incredible event, and you take care of us players so well, and I think that's what matters most. And we come here because we love it, and we get to showcase quality squash because of how well you look after us. So thank you so much, and thank you to everybody who hosts us this entire week. I really appreciate it. I want to thank my host family, the Nelsons, Ty and Kate. Thank you so much for having me this week. I'm sorry I couldn't get you a two-peat winners at the house, but you know, I'm gonna come back next year and I will try again. But a quick shout out to just my team back home, Weil, Kadri, Asia, Jesse, my sports psychologist from SportMind. He is here. He was talking to Siva, so you know, I'm gonna put that aside today. I still love you, Jesse. Thank you for consoling me back there. I know you were torn today. But I have an incredible team that has helped me get back to where I'm at, and I just want to also thank my sponsors, Civic Financial, Squash Zone, US Squash, and Head. So thank you so much, and I look forward to coming back here and hopefully winning this tournament again.
So just before we bring Siva, I'm going to ask you one question. So you're an Eagles fan. Would you rather the Eagles won and you lost, or you won and the Eagles lost?
I don't know. I want to win. I don't even live in Philly anymore. Like, come on, guys. I want to win all day long.
All right. Well, I'm sure you can enjoy that game later on. Yeah. All right. So now let's bring on a new name on our trophy, our 2025 champion from Malaysia, Siva Sanggari Sabarani. And to present you with your trophy, Sarah's going to give you the big one. So actually, we take one of these. So, second biggest tournament career win. You won 1 gold, and now you won a silver. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, obviously today was really tough out there. After yesterday's good win, I think I played really well yesterday, and then to back it up today, you know, Amanda's a fighter after what happened to her. It's really tough out there. We had a close match a few weeks ago. I lost that one, so I'm glad to be winning this one, and I mean, very, very happy. I played this tournament 3 times now, I think. And to be winning the 4th time, it's great. Of course, I want to thank the sponsors for making this happen. Nathan for always doing the best job. I think all players love to come here and play tournament just because of how you guys host us. And of course, the Magnaps, I've stayed with you guys 2nd time. Susan and Carter, a very lovely family, and you know, I love everyone here. It feels like home. Of course, winning is a different type of happiness, but I'm happy. I'm happy to be here anyways. You know, it's nice. Of course, I want to thank my coach, David Palmer, Jesse from SportsMind, and Mark Burns, my strength and conditioning, and of course, I have my Malaysian support team here, Thomas and Jerry, and Jas back home as well. So it's great. It's great to be winning another tournament after a couple of tough months, and yeah, of course, biggest thanks to my family. They're at home 2 a.m. They're watching this match, and yeah, it's great, and I love you guys.
One final thank you that I almost forgot, and he was locked in a closet, I think, a couple of weeks ago at a tournament. So Kieran is here with the PSA. He's doing all the media for us and has been sending the stuff out around the world, so I haven't had to be up till midnight every night. So appreciate Kieran doing everything he's done. Said he's got an office today rather than actually a closet, which they put him in some of these tournaments. So thanks, Kieran. And next year, the prize money is VSL will be a bit bigger. To be a silver, we have to be at 87.5 now instead of 75. But that's still the goal, that's the plan, to keep that silver going and welcome all these great players back again and see some more fantastic squash. So thank you all for being here today. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Have the rest of the fun Sunday fun day. And let's hope there's not too many hangovers on Monday morning. Who are you voting for? Eagles? Eagles, so we don't have the Chiefs doing 3-peat. All right, thank you again. If anyone wants pictures, the players are going to be on for pictures, so if you want to come on, if your host family wants to come on pictures with them, so court's open, so please join us, and photographer here will take pictures for you.